Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's the last stream for today. It's Sportr versus David44, Portugal versus Hungary, both hoping to win to then meet my teammate Karabujan in the upper semi-final of Group B. So that's Q1. Big favorite here should be Sportr. A very experienced Portuguese master. On the other hand, we have David44 with only a few hundred games of experience, at least with this account on this platform. They might have played Carcassonne somewhere else as well. Let's quickly check. Yeah, roughly 400 games played. But they were actually able to secure in a spot in the Hungarian Championship, being the runner-up there. I can't really remember their road to the finals. Well, they didn't have to face Siegfried and Orvi Zetschke and nor Mozopal until the finals, and then lost 0-3. So I'm not really that confident in their strengths, but we'll see if they'll be able to do anything against, again, the favorite in my book, Sportr, here in this match. Let's hope they'll be starting right now, because I really am not keen on waiting around longer than necessary. At this time of day, it's 10 p.m. over here. So I definitely wouldn't stream Siegfried versus Wietzeczke right now. That would be promising to be a 2-hour-long affair. And this year, I hope will be a tad quicker. And refreshing, nothing happens. Well, then let's take a look at the list of masters, and Portugal is over here. So actually not a 700 rating achieved this year. That surprises me. Oh, let's take a look at the rating evolution here. If it loads, that is, of course. Yeah, well, so maybe multiple peaks years ago and maybe several ones, looks like last year or 2023. Can't really get this from this rather shoddy scale, but definitely no 700 rating this year, and even drops below 500. Well, maybe the chances for David44 are actually better than I have expected. Still nothing. No tournament activity, so they might just use a regular game here. David isn't the David I wanted. This is David44, so both are online. Still nothing. Let's check if Sportr has started a game. He hasn't. Then let's just ask. They want to play tournament. Okay, then let's create a tournament. So tournament, specific game, Carcassonne, create a new tournament, CCL, I don't know, Q1, B, Sportr, David44. Why does this not work? Yeah, sure, there's no result. I don't get it. I have to. What is this? Okay, new championship, CCL Q1, this tournament name. CCL Q1. B, is B correct? Let me check again. B is correct. We can register 2 players. Tournament starts today at 22:09, and we need a Swiss system. 15 minutes. No river, nothing. 3 matches. And this should be it, I think. Yeah, okay. Like this should work. Oh, damn it. Okay, this might be it. So let's copy the link. And let's send it to David as well. So I hope this was right. So let's check again. Time allotted to each player is wrong. Ah, damn it. Yeah, you see me scrambling here. Okay, let's do this again. Carcassonne. Swiss system. Yeah, I thought it was per player, but per player is listed here. 3 matches. And of course, we need a name here. Let me quickly copy that again. And this time without the problematic characters. Well, let's check 30 minutes, 4 points. That should be all there is to it. Yeah. How many players? Well, and start date today. Let's use 2 minutes. So, lesson from this is if you want to use the tournament option, well, you have to use the tournament option if both aren't premium. Then find someone to create the tournament in advance. They can't enter the tournament. Oh, why not? Oh, could have added the configuration. Because then the tournament would have been set up already. You could have joined it in advance and preferably ask someone who has done this before and not just some random dude on the internet struggling to even no option to enter? Come on. Everyone? 30 days before tournament starts. 2 participants. Should be open to everyone. Still being configured. Oh, damn it. I'd have to open the tournament, yeah. And flooding protection. So let's see. So one of them joined, hopefully one of them, yeah. And actually, let's invite David again, just to be safe. Is already a member of this group, which should mean he has already joined, and then the tournament will start in 2 minutes. Let's see if we can advance this. We can't. Okay, now they have to wait a minute or two. Yeah, well, then we at least can chat with them here. So 15 minutes wasted. Great. Didn't I say I hope this is a rather fast match or will be a rather fast match? Well, could have done a better job here. Okay, so then let's see if they have started the first game already or not. Doesn't look like it. Well, it's not 15 minutes past. And Here we go. Tournament has started. So where's the game now? Sorry, Juan, if you're still there. Didn't read your chat message. Was busy trying to figure the things out here. Next time I know better. At least I hope I don't forget. So if you might ever be in a situation where you need someone to configure a tournament, sure, just ask me. Happy to help. And next time I should get this down to 2 minutes and not wasting a lot of your and my time. So perfect start for Sportr. I mean, didn't Alexi recently talk about this exact configuration on his stream? Yes, he did. I think it was when he didn't notice that a game was postponed and he played versus Pedro, I think. This year is roughly 1 in 2,500 games. So you might never see this one again, especially not on stream, but it is what it is. Unlikely to happen, and now we witnessed 2 of these configurations within just a few days. Of course, we haven't looked at all the games in between these 2, and this quite likely were way more than 2,500 games. Definitely the best start for yellow, and not very good news for blue. They hope to counter with an 6-point road here. Yellow thinking whether to take the 2 points, maybe even being more aggressive, blocking this road immediately with 2 daggers out there. I think that's a pretty no-brainer move here. Only 1 dagger left for blue. So this looks very, very bad. I think blue couldn't have asked for a worse beginning here. Yeah, not sure this will help. I mean, setting up the city to eventually, once you hit the dagger, take it is a nice idea, but in practice quite likely won't work. If this reaches, let's say, 4 or 5 points, then yellow will just snatch this and expand it to eventually kill the square here, or maybe even threaten to close this city. Might even think about taking it now. But I guess the more standard approach would be this move, threatening a city up top. Instead, I don't like this because it gives option like this here back to blue. Although that's a tricky decision. Should you really meeple this one or not? I mean, the move in itself is a given, as this supports their road with the road end. And then you only need to hit the 50-50. But do you invest the second meeple? And I would in this case. I think this could turn south very fast, but if you don't go there, Yellow for sure will take this with any big city or maybe even Doritos. Yeah, same option for blue. Going over here. This here, both aren't great. So either this or that, both options aren't really great. Therefore, I'd stay away from the city with the splitter. Maybe just here with the downside that you might like to use the big city piece here and not invest it up top. Else you could try to create problems for yellow city here. Also leaving this cap there is a tad annoying. Something totally different would be to consider a farming move, which I wouldn't like this early in the game, something like that maybe. Now he opts to use that one, which needs a big city piece and also gets killed immediately like this, because then you would need 2 right-handed daggers and there's only one remaining, so definitely not a great option. In this case, maybe this here would have been better. But it was placed when this cap wasn't there, though there was still an option, or there is still the option to draw a cap here and force the issue. Maybe forcing yellow to, let's consider this move here, yellow to limit this to a 50-50. In some cases, blocking to a quadruple city would also be a healthy option for yellow to take. So we'll see, but definitely blue has to do something about this square. This works, but again, here comes the kill. So either this or that square will be dead once the remaining right-handed dagger hits. But at least it's an 8, maybe 9-point ruin in the end for blue. That's not the worst outcome. But they quite likely need the dagger and would prefer to draw it rather soon to liberate this road meeple. That's the other orientation, works for yellow to close the road anyway. Also creates a possibly nice field and might even become a huge one with any curve or road monastery over here like this. And of course, huge features always favor the side with more meeples at their disposal. And this in this game should be yellow, at least in the long run. The only problematic meeple is this one on the city, because this could get limited to the dagger as well, and that's why this straight is as insignificant as it looks pretty great. For one, it limits this square to the one and only piece out there to go there. That would be the dagger, which blue still needs there. So this straight reserves this cap for yellow to take. Also, it takes away a lot of options to block or to create a blocking square against yellow city. And therefore, that's a pretty nice find for yellow here. Yellow closes their city up top. Blue. Why not with this move? Why not? I mean, any attack by yellow is rather easily countered, especially now that blue got the last remaining horse. Well, if you're blue, this monastery is critical. You have to score points somehow. You aren't the favorite to win a big field fight, so using monasteries could be a great way to still have a chance in this game. So, for example, stacking 2 monasteries here in the middle sure seems nice, but the problem is this road piece over here. Any city piece like that, and the square is blocked to the same dagger again. So I think it might even be a good way to protect this, to prevent this block. Although then yellow could consider moves like that. For now, blue on the field, of course, that's nice for now. Yellow takes this field from the bottom side, but this one in the end will score 0 points. I don't see a way to win this game when you spread yourselves that thin. I mean, 2 meeples or 1 meeple already lost. Another one is a 50-50. These 2 should come back into your hand. The monastery is okay, but then adding a farmer, well, good luck with that. Yellow extends the field to the bottom while also preparing a loop road here. That's all fine and dandy. Right now they are up by 14 points on the virtual scoreboard. And this should be a clear-cut affair for yellow here. But threatening 10-point cities sure is an avenue for blue to get a leg up here. Forced move. Again, that's the other dagger. Blue still needs the right-handed one. Still enough crossroads out there, so aggressively playing against yellow's loop road doesn't do much. Can't invest the meeple now. going over here is too risky, as then yellow would jump on the chance to limit your monastery to 2 road monasteries, while also getting chance to block your city. Nonetheless, blue goes for it, but the problem is the continuation. They can't go over here because of the mentioned block. So this here is highly, highly speculative. Meanwhile, yellow adds a second farmer, hoping, of course, to unite all the fields. Yeah, this works. The indirect defense of this square works, while also limiting this to crossroad. Again, still 6 out there, but if you follow up like this and would be able to add any curvy or crossroad piece to limit this to a 50-50 as well. Yeah. Should give you better chances. Here we go. That will be the limitation by David, like this. Unless they want to play against this city, taking away roses and starting tiles, plus left-handed daggers. So effectively 4 out of 7 city caps. Yeah. But yellow gets the quadruple crossroad immediately after blue's block or restriction. Also, just to rub it in, adds a farmer there, which would connect once blue does anything to the monastery. What's too quickly? Actually, if you're behind by that much, limiting quick point options, I don't know. Yeah. The crossroad arrived pretty fast. As fast can be, and I mean, blue could have even or should have even meepled that monastery, hoping to draw a cap or this dagger, then the next monastery, because when you're down 30-40 points, you need these permutations with all the perfect tiles. So just taking 4 points just doesn't cut it. I mean, you need to somehow block this city, close yours, close the monasteries, and then attack the field with a vengeance. Yeah, here comes the next monastery for David. I hope he invests a meeple this time. He definitely has to. But with this city being closed and 5 yellow, 5, come on, 3 yellow farmers on this field. Yeah, one hope. This is still alive. this one could be closed, but then that'd still be the 18-point field you might need to take over, and this city is dead now. Sure, there is still a cow left, but you won't get 4 pieces to close it. Yeah, blue just scores a few points here or there. Looks like they don't try to find their outside chances. I think this is gone anyway. Yeah, Juan asks whether this is the first game. It is the first game because these two are, as indicated by no, I think it's a yellow something, aren't premium members, so they couldn't start a tournament and hadn't anyone who did. So I did and botched it, frankly. So it took, I don't know, 10 minutes, and someone who has done this before would have been able to do this in a minute. So they started actually with a delay of 15 minutes. Therefore, this game is running for 20. And now David is running in connection problems and just lost by time. Well, at least it happens in this game, which was already lost. Yeah, streamer sponsored match might be actually. I decided just a few minutes before the start to cover this one, so don't know if these two did actually know that I would be covering this. Maybe they would have asked me before I contacted Sportr just to ask if they have postponed this one. Yeah, let's hope David comes back. Else we definitely could get in a Siegfried territory. So for those who don't know, Siegfried from Hungary is a player who's taking all the time he can get his hands on, more or less each game. So a slow match usually ends with a thinking time of 20 or more minutes. I mean, 23, 24, maybe rather seldomly below 20. And if he then has an opponent that takes the same time, one game takes roughly 3/4 of an hour, and that's what I call one Siegfried. So one Siegfried is 45 minutes roughly, and if a game needs a best of 3 match needs 3 games, then we have 3 Siegfrieds taking more than 2 hours, which I had hoped to avoid for this match. Again, it's rather late over here, but let's see. Oh, damn it. Yeah, looks like David didn't even know that he was disconnected from the server, or maybe it just looks like he was disconnected. I don't know. Anyway, rather have a snafu like that happen in a game which you've lost by a landslide than in a close one where you just needed to execute a move anywhere on the board to win. Although it's down to 27 points, I don't think that's could be considered a landslide. It's just a game where the pieces were stacked against you from the start. So let's see if the deck is a bit kinder to David in the second one. Yeah, let's go to the next one. I prefer that. One asks whether there's any tolerance or if timing out on going into the red minus time will be an automatic loss. And yes, in this tournament, in the Champions League, and frankly in all other tournaments, having this year is a loss, no matter what the actual score in this game was. Yeah, David says he couldn't give up, and I think that's a feature of tournaments as well. You can't give up, at least to my knowledge. Sportr, starting player. Wasn't he the starting player in the first game as well? If so, David's really not lucky. Let's see if he goes for the harassment. I mean, why not? Still reducing the amount of caps that would close the city immediately, roughly in half. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation, Glovia. So Sportr was starting player in the first one as well. Yeah, creating a loop here, at least most likely. Don't see anything better. Do you go for the next try? This would give the upside of yellow not being able to continue their road without endangering their city. This orientation works as well, but in a case where you already need a road, and I'd prefer this one here to use two straights, for example, like this. I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying, Gluvia. What are wrong tables? So yellow starts another city, indirectly extends the loop road, or pre-finishes the loop road, if you will, only needing a curvy. It's a bit annoying to close this one with anything, the road stubbing to the right side. So for example, if yellow were to hit the rose on their next turn, this would be not ideal, but it is what it is. If they would be able to close this 8-pointer, they for sure would. Blue going for the volatility here. I don't like it at all. At least they can prevent this from closing now. But no. No. If you execute this move, then like this. Any straight can't defend, any straight blocks. This here is just not the move. The alternative would have been this one, but the orientation of a road piece parallel and a field over here in almost all situations only has I don't know, 15-20% chance of working, because there are so many road tiles to restrict this here to a rotorito, or in this case, even city pieces to go for the horse instead, which would have been the same chances as there were still 3 rotoritos and all 3 horses in the deck. So that's a huge mistake by blue, and rightfully so, it got punished within the next 2 pieces. So let's check what glue we are. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly it. For the CCL, it's just 3 games. And if you happen to get the short stick or straw, then you are just second player in both games, sometimes even in all 3. Of the matches I witnessed so far, I remember that MTU, for example, was the second player in all 3 games versus I Deny That. Lost the first game unnecessary, but still, but then won a second and the third game, so turned out good for him. Overall, if you consider that in the World Championships last year and this year, roughly 57% of the starting players won their games. Starting 3 games is a huge advantage. So if you haven't, please upvote the bug reports on BGA's bug site. I think I can't link to it in YouTube's chat because all URLs except for YouTube links are censored, so won't help. Just have to think. Oh, I could tell you the ID to upvote. Let me quickly check. Not sure if I will be able to find it that quickly. So blue goes for the restriction here. Still 2 horses left. Yellow. I don't know. I think something else could have been more interesting. There wasn't a great way to start a new city, but what about this here, for example? That's just asking for trouble. And this here is pretty annoying as well, although if you're able to restrict blues meeple on the city, might work out anyway. But just investing a precious city cap on the other side of a restricted city, I'm not sure. That's the move in this situation. So what did I want to check in the box? The starting player, right? And Swiss system. Let's see if the search finds anything. Usually it's just shoddy. Okay, then let's take a look at all the bugs I voted for. Yeah, so the ID should be this one. I just pasted in a chat if I find the window that is. Why? It's Carcassonne, it's not a puzzle. I mean, there was still a horse out there, so why not kill this and just run away with the bigger side of the ruin? Instead, he goes for this and gives yellow the 50-50 chance, not just to tying this city, but to score this 9-point field. I mean, yeah, sure, if you get this 9-point field, this looks better, but still you'd waste 3 points. So the difference between 3 for yellow and 6 on your side, that can't be right. Oh man. Yeah. I think this would be a good idea actually talking about BGA's bugs. Just to list the ones that Carcassonne community members, for lack of a better expression, should upvote. I don't think it would change anything because most of these bugs are therefore, I don't know, are years old, 5 years, 10 years, sometimes even. So a lot of time for BGA to fix that stuff. For example, the one I mentioned is from more than 5 years ago. So go figure. And it's just the Swiss system pairing algorithm, and there are ready-made pairing algorithms out there. You just need to implement them. So I have no hope that this will change anytime soon. Yeah. I mean, the problem is yellow has a decent lead. Decent is an understatement. A great lead due to these cities here. Also a nice healthy monastery, a few roads here or there. And then, because blue wastes great tiles like these shielded Dorito and horse on stuff like that, and then that's I can't watch this. I can't watch this. Why? Why? I mean, the idea would be nice. This way would work way better than this one here. You'd prevent yellow from taking these 4 points. Sure, any road here would kill the square, but at least they don't win a mini battle like it's the case now. I mean, Sorry, I'm speechless. I expected Sportr to have a rather easy time in this match. Yeah, I expected. Excuse me. I expected Sportr to win this one, but not that easily. Not like this. Not without a fight. Ooh. Let's see. Taking these points while there are still options like this available, but blue gets the quadruple city and not a city cap and then a quad, which definitely is the wrong order for them. So this can't be attacked anymore as all three extenders are gone. Minus 25, well, it's not over. Just get a Dorito, close your city, take this field, maybe take this one, and then unify. Yeah, this works. Still 4 caps left to close the city. Yellow takes this monastery. Still 2 roses out there to close this. Both don't have meeples in hand right now. I think David should prepare this connection, also protect this square, which could create blocking options against the city. I don't think that investing this straight against Yellow's road is worth the move. I'd rather go for the option that actually increases your chances to still win the game. They don't, and just dump this one here. I don't know. Yellow goes all in on the rose. I mean, why not? Chances to liberate this road were dwindling anyway. The only other option would have been to turn the road outside and then draw the road monastery. This here definitely works better. It's usually a 75% with these few tiles remaining, and Sportr being the starting player here, it's more or less more like 80% now, maybe even 83, 84. I would have to check. But they only get a curve. What could they do with the curve? Well, prevent an attack up top, which would have worked nicely for blue. So good find for yellow. Even without a meeple, they are able to do damage. Yeah, this curve could have connected blue to the field of yellow, which would have been a minus 3-point move. But again, it's about giving you chances to win this game, and taking these 6, possibly if your city is closed 9 points away from yellow, might be necessary to win this one. And now, poof, poof, options to attack the field are gone. Quite likely you won't be able to connect here. There is still a chance. but only if you happen to get both Doritos, actually, because you'd rather close your city here. Meanwhile, yellow gets their hands on a rose, closes monastery and road, and if you listen closely, you can hear the death bells ringing. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, yellow just takes a few points. Blue closes their city. Doesn't do much. And I don't understand this, actually. If you're hoping to qualify for the Champions League, then come on. Put in more effort. At least try to find your win criteria here. And there still was a chance. If it sounds like I'm a bit frustrated, well, then you're hearing right. I am, because I mean, the first one, this would have been really tough to win for blue, but the second one, it was possible with way fewer mistakes and way better moves. Why not? By the way, again, lost on time, this time with only 2 seconds. Yeah, well, congratulations to Sportr. So let's check. This was B, right? Yep. So Sportr advances to face Karabujan, and this will be definitely more difficult than today. And David will... Is it still advancing if you're relegated to the losers bracket? Well, it's relegation. He's relegated to the losers bracket against Vineria, and I don't expect David to stand a chance against Jorim from Chile. So this will quite likely be a short. I'm lacking the word here. I don't know. David's tournament life quite likely will be over after the match against Vineria, is what I wanted to express. Yeah. So anything else? I don't think there's anything I would need to analyze about these two games. As I said, just too many bad moves. And even the last straws David could have grasped, he didn't go for, he didn't try, and that's what frustrates me the most, if people lose a game because they don't go for the win. I mean, definitely, don't get me wrong, you lose games, sure, but at least try to win, even if there's only a tiny 5 or 10% chance. Okay, not rambling. Let's focus on the next and upcoming matches. So tomorrow I'm quite likely to cover 71st. I deny that, and that's the losers bracket of Q3. But losers bracket doesn't mean that these two aren't strong players. Both are. This definitely will be on another level than tonight's match. Later, these games are covered by Otto, so with my trusty co-host Lovia. Good luck, Guilherme, for tomorrow again. Maybe I'll cover this one here, just out of curiosity, because I'm not that familiar with meeple over people, and I think have never witnessed a game of Kamak from Canada. This year looks very interesting. Let's see. It's Norbert's from Latvia. Maybe Alexi will cover this one. If so, maybe let's cover Raf. We'll see. And maybe there will be other matches as well. So just check carcassonne.gg when you've got the time to watch a stream. Or, of course, subscribe, and I think hit the bell icon to get notifications as well. So is there anything you'd like to know? Should I still explain something to you? I guess Juan earlier had a few questions about the tournament, so I'd still have a few minutes. But if you want to know something, you'd have to ask now, else I just end the stream. I give you a minute while I sip a bit of water. Rather big gulps than a sip, but water it is. So no questions in the chat. Yeah, you're welcome, G. Always happy to stream. I prefer closer games, but it is what it is. So nothing more than thanks for sticking around until the end. Hope to see you all soon, and I especially appreciate those who chime in the chat, because that always helps, especially when I don't have a co-host. So thank you. Bye-bye.